Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a walkthrough of a revised deck that I have created. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that one of my very first decks that I launched in 2018, it was the first deck I ever created, was the Twin Flame Journey Oracle. Now this version will still be available, but I wanted to come up with a revised edition. And I'm going to show you guys the differences here. So some of you may just prefer this, and some of you might prefer the revised edition. So both will be available for purchase on my storefront for Printer Studio. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm no longer selling decks on Etsy. So you would just go straight to the Printer Studio, which is where I get my decks printed. And then you could just make your purchases straight from that company. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get into these cards. I'm going to go ahead and flip them around. So this is the original here on the left, and this is the revised version. So basically it's still 80 cards. So it's an 80 card Oracle deck, but as you guys can see immediately, there's already some changes. So there's a major change in the artwork. So this is going to be more of like, you know, your AI artwork, more digitalized. And then this is more of like photography. The font is also different, and we do have the same exact keyword per card. So that hasn't changed. So it's the same concept for the Twin Flame Journey, but I've added 3 descriptive additional words just to make it a little bit user friendly, or just to kind of get your intuition, you know, just flowing. So let's go ahead and take a look at it, you guys. So this right here is the original abandoned card, right? But this says discarded, shunned, and cast away. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to try to do this the best way that I can. There we go. Action. So here we have a picture of a bird. And this one I chose like the sea god, Poseidon. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it says energy, force, and movement. Hey, another cat here. What a big shocker in my household. All right. So we have admired. And then over here, it says popular, cherished, and loved. Okay, so we have ascending with this little boat here, and this nice light. But then now we have this angel, elevation, advancement, and expansion. We have awakening, and now we have this image, rising, activation, and revival. The balancing of the scales is very similar. You know, we have the picture of the scales there, but we have these additional words: equality, justice, and correction. Barrier. And even though this isn't a door, to me, it's just like this big, dark, scary castle that's a barrier in your path. It says boundary, obstacle, and roadblock. And then big dreams. We've got the whale tail there, but here we've got this nice little entryway into his mind, and it says desires, imagination, and aspirations. And then we have bound. Okay, this kind of looks like a devilish card. This one right here is kind of like a little alien looking, right? I just thought it was really cool. So it says prisoner, enslaved, constrained. Okay, we have commitment, so 2 hands clasped. And then I just saw this couple and I was just like, I just loved it. So I went with it. It says vow, promise, and engagement. Okay, communication. So obviously like all that, you know, all those little webs of communication, but I just chose a computer for this one. Confession, expression, and correspondence. All right, compromise 2 people, but we also have a human, and then we have like an android. So that was cool. Arrangement, settlement, happy medium. Conclusion with a key. I don't know, I just really like this image. So it says closure, ending, and outcome. Next one, we have contemplation. So obviously someone's sitting there, they're kind of contemplating. This woman, she looks like she's doing the same. So I chose this image: reflecting, pondering, rumination. Crossroads, very similar. It says stuck, decisions, turning point. Cycles. So I did choose kind of like, the dark and the light side of the moon, cycles. It says phase, duration, and sequence. Dark night of the soul. Kind of looks like Candyman to me, from the scary movie Candyman. That's just what that figure looks like, so I had to choose it. But dark night of the soul, ego death, difficulty, and pain. Okay, so this one we have deception. And I kind of like this one because it's like a web of lies. So that's why one of the keywords is web of lies, fraud, and trickery. But obviously this person's kind of hiding behind that tree. We have destruction. Kind of similar, looks very destructive. This is like a tornado, but this is kind of like some bomb and fire coming from that spaceship. It says havoc, downfall, ruin. We have devotion, very similar looking, but I just really like that. She's in this prayer position. It says honor, traditions, values. And divine feminine. So instead of seeing the back of the divine feminine, we can see all these flowers around her. She looks just very soft and angelic. It says intuitive, kind, and gentle. The divine masculine. Instead of the back, we've got the front here. And it says driven, assertive, and dominant. Divine timing. Kind of like this picture of the egg because the egg, it's going to hatch at some point. So I went with that instead of a clock. It says perfect order, alignment, and cosmic clock. And this one I just kind of added some actual months. I thought that was kind of neat. So we have the season of fall/autumn, but September, October, November is traditionally fall. Now I understand that the seasons are going to be different depending on who's using the deck wherever you live in the country. So to me, or the world, so to me, this could just be, instead of fall, you just go with September, October, November as timing. So these to me are timing cards, which they were always really supposed to be about timing, but I wanted to be very specific with the months. All right, we have family. So instead of a picture of a family, I thought this big tree, roots, that represents family. So it says ancestors, bonding, generations. Fear, okay, very dark. This one looked very scary. So we have nightmare, haunted, and anxiety. Free will, obviously someone is opening up their arms. For me, this is just kind of like somebody has the free will choice to go this way or not go up those steps. That's why I chose this image. We have choices, ability, and liberty. Fresh start. And then here we have this pathway that's very green, looking very abundant. It says reestablish, new, and refresh. Forgiveness, okay? So instead of somebody like looking like they're sorry, forgiveness to me, this is just like a high vibrational being, love and light kind of energy. So we have compassion, empathy, and mercy. Grief still looks very dark. She looks very sad, but the grief here, loss, mourning, and gloom. Okay, so guide instead of a lantern. I don't know, I felt owl was good because the owl is connected to the intuition. So we have wisdom, knowledge, and guardian. Also, owls can be guardians of the underworld as well. Healing. So we have all these chakras here. But this one, I just liked all the colors. So we have mending, bandage, restoration. Inner child, so still children, young people. We have endearing, innocence, and enthusiasm. And this one, for some reason, I went plural on this when I was creating this. Instead of saying karmic partner, I said karmic partners, right? So this is anybody that you are learning from in a major way. We've got karma, triggers, and wounds. All right, so lessons. So we have a book with this one, but I don't know. I just felt like, she's kind of looking at the ocean. She's kind of just reflecting on the lessons of her life. So we have learning, experience, and participation. This one really speaks for itself. We have a mask here, but then we have two people that are masks, or in a masquerade situation. Hidden motives, disguise, mystery. Okay, and so instead of the material world with this one, instead of doing coins, money, I just thought, what? Earth is the material world. So 3D reality, environment, and the physical. So physical world. Metamorphosis, I stuck with the butterfly, change, transformation, and shift. It's so funny because I swear, I feel like when I was in school, like I was a pretty good speller, but for whatever reason, you just kind of misspell words. And this was one of them on the original deck, like when I first created it. So yeah, it's actually spelled correctly this time. I mean, it has been for a while. It's just funny how you make certain mistakes. Okay, mirroring. So I just went with the mirror. So instead of like an actual, image where we're looking in water, we have someone that's looking in a mirror. It says impression, reflecting, and perception. Muse. So instead of the paintbrush, we have this beautiful woman. So she's got this very colorful outfit on, all these colors. It says inspiring, creative, and stimulating. Mute. Instead of no face, we do have a young child, and this young child might kind of looks monkish to me. So we have silent, voiceless, unspoken. New direction. I like both of these images actually, but this one's kind of like wanderlust. Somebody's going to be traveling, so they're kind of looking into it. It says travel, journey, destination. Nostalgia. I actually like both of these images. So he's hanging on to something tightly, obviously, and then nostalgia, you kind of have two children that are thinking back on the past. So it says the past, daydreaming, and reminiscing. Oops. Okay, so numbing. I think the reason that I went with the tattoos on this one is because obviously, after a while of getting a tattoo, not that I would know because I have zero, but I've heard, you just get numb after a while. The pain starts to numb out. Why I chose this one? I don't know. I just liked her. She just looked awesome to me. So blank, indifferent, neutral. Yeah, some of the images I just don't really have an explanation for. I just really liked them. So observer, it's kind of maybe somebody's observing you, looking online. Really liked it actually. But observer with the cat, they observe everything. I got 9 now. R.I.P. Chibs, right? But yeah, surveying, cautious, and vigilant. So to me, a cat is an excellent observer of people's behavior and knowing when to involve themselves and kind of draw back. So the cat just worked for me. Okay, so offer, offering a cup, but to me, this is kind of like a Merlin looking wizard type of guy. So he's like offering something. We have gift, proposition, and invitation. Patience with the hands crossed. I don't know. She just looked very patient and calm to me. So we have calm, collected, and self-controlled. So pause, very similar. We have hiatus, break, downtime. Pride and ego is pretty much the same. Peacock, just different look. Arrogant, smug, cocky. Purge. So obviously purge, we're like purging water. But I went with a different image for this one, just kind of like, shadowy energy, really, something's like death, basically. So I chose that skeleton. Letting go, cleanse, and expel. Received, instead of a hand, I used a dove. Says confirmation, affirmative, and clear. So to me, it's kind of like receiving signs even. Recognition. So Instead of recognizing maybe within somebody else something, it's like she's seeing something and she's recognizing and understanding something. So we have verify, acknowledge, and vision. Okay, so refocus. To me, it's just kind of seeing things from a new perspective. We have recenter, target, and objective. Regret. They both look very sad to me, in a state of regret. So we have bitter, disappointment, and remorse. Beautiful image here. I don't know, just to me, this just looked like a freaking amazing queen, and I just went with it. So we have rebuild, rekindle, renew. Just awesome. Okay, so release. Looks to me like this guy is, just releasing a lot of energy. He's on a hike kind of thing. So I went with this: detach, relief, and freedom. Maybe even just kind of moving on. Return. I actually really like this image for return, but to me, this is like returning to the self, maybe returning to what once was. But we've got rebound, homecoming, and recover. Self-worth, she just looks to me like she really is, full of confidence, self-love, and dignity. So I chose her. Separation, this looked kind of sad to me. Still kind of a heart-shaped, but it says severed, removed, and scattered. Settling, even though it's not a teddy bear, but she's just kind of settling in on something. Complicit, submissive, obedient. Shadow work. Actually really loved this image. So dark side, ego, and uncover. Signs, loved this. Yeah, I mean, even though this is like road signs, the signs that we usually talk about spiritually are going to be in the form of feathers and just objects and, things that you hear. So synchronicities, coincidence, patterns. I really like this one for solitude as well. Isolation, reclusive, and withdrawn. So it's more of like a fantasy-based deck. Soulmate, absolutely love this image here. Kindred spirits, lover, and companion. Looks like a freaking fairy tale to me. Okay, so again with the spring, love it. We've got March, April, and May. So timing. I like this one for stuck as well. So trapped, obstacles, and tunnel vision for that ship in a bottle. Summer, more dates. So June, July, and August. So timing. Surrender. I like both of these images. It says yielding, succumbing, and peace. Third party, I like this one probably better. I mean, this is more of like a wedge, but you can see 3 people here on this card. It says affair, social, and group. The answer is no. I actually prefer this because, this is kind of like dried up, obviously, but I just like the fact that there's somebody that looks really disappointed. So it says the answer is no, halted, blocked, and red light. So I kind of liked going with the opposite here, which is the answer is yes. Like, yes, it's golden. You're golden. You're good to go. Positive, absolutely. Green light. Tribe. I love this image here. Even though I do love the elephant images as well, because it's a tribe of elephants. But I just really like this tribal guy here. So we have soul, family, belonging, and support. And I really like both of these images, actually. But this is the new twin flame. We have counterpart, reflection, and catalyst. I love this one for unawakened. So I like it actually better than the other one. Sleeping, unaware, and dormant. Understanding. I like this one a lot. Awareness, epiphany, and comprehension. Union. I like both, but of course you can see their faces here. We have harmony, fusion, and merging. Vibrations. It's just more of a modern take on vibrations, like spiritual vibration, but the vibration of the music. We have energy, sensitivity, and wavelength. Victim, I really like this one. Wronged, injured, and suffering. Winter, so we have the months again. We have December, January, and February. Oops. And last one, fifth dimension. Mystical, higher self, and unexplainable. So you guys, that is the new revised version here. And, you know, the outside, I wanted to kind of keep it somewhat similar, but it's obviously more of an updated version, different font. It's, you know, more showy. You can see it. It pops out at you. So I really hope that you guys like this. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with the older version at all. It's just a different look. I will still be using both, and both will still be for sale on my shop front. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. And I'll catch you guys later. And also, I am going to be coming up with a couple of new decks here moving forward. There's one actually at the printers right now. It is a like a divine feminine goddess deck. It's freaking incredible. We have so many images of so many different women. I'm really excited about it because the pictures that I had access to when I did my divine feminine healing, there wasn't a lot of there just wasn't a lot of ethnic you know, just different races of women that were available for the images that I was looking at. So now, so many, you guys. So this is a very colorful deck. It has just a little splash of everything and everyone in there. And I'm just really excited about it. So anyways, be on the lookout for that. And of course, I will do a walkthrough of that deck when it comes out as well. And I'm probably going to start updating some of my how to use my decks videos, because I think some of the videos that I did, they're like way back from 2018. So I'll probably revise how to use decks and how to use them together, and I'll obviously include this new one. So thanks again for watching, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.